Second or fellow craft degree initiation. I will now introduce the reader to the second degree of Masonry. It is generally called passing, as will be seen in the lecture. I shall omit the ceremonies of opening and closing, as they are precisely the same as in the first degree, except 2 knocks are used in this degree, and the door is entered by the benefit of a password. It is shibboleth. It will be explained in the lecture. The candidate, as before, is taken into the preparation room, and prepared in the manner following. All his clothing taken off, except his shirt, furnished with a pair of drawers, his right breast bare, his left foot in a slipper, his right bare, a cable toe twice around his neck, semi-hoodwinked, in which situation he is conducted to the door of the lodge, where he gives 2 knocks, when the senior deacon rises and says, "Worshipful, while we are peaceably at work on the second degree of Masonry, under the influence of faith, hope, and charity, the door of the lodge is alarmed. Master to senior deacon, inquire the cause of that alarm." In many lodges they come to the door, knock, are answered by the senior deacon, and come in without their being noticed by the senior warden or master. The senior deacon gives 2 raps on the inside of the door. The candidate gives 1 without, it is answered by the senior deacon with 1, when the door is partly opened by the senior deacon, who inquires, "Who comes here? Who comes here?" Note, in modern lodges both eyes are covered, and the cable toe is put around the naked right arm, instead of around the neck. See cut. p. 50. The junior deacon, who is or ought to be the conductor, answers, "A worthy brother who has he'll regularly initiated as an entered apprentice mason, served a proper time as such, and now wishes for further light in masonry by being passed to the degree of fellow craft." Senior deacon to junior deacon. Is it of his own free will and accord he makes this request? Ans. It is. Senior deacon to junior deacon, is he duly and truly prepared? Ans. He is. Senior deacon to junior deacon. Is he worthy and well qualified? Ans. He is. Senior deacon to junior deacon. Has he made suitable proficiency in the preceding degree? Ans. He has. Very few know any more than they did the night they were initiated, have not heard their obligation repeated, nor one section of the lecture, and in fact a very small proportion of Masons ever learn either. Senior deacon to junior deacon. By what further rights does he expect to obtain this benefit? Ans. By the benefit of a password. Senior deacon to junior deacon. Has he a password? Ans. He has not, but I have it for him. Senior deacon to junior deacon. Give it to me. The junior deacon whispers in the senior deacon's ear, "Shibboleth." The senior deacon says, "The pass is right. Since this is the case, you will wait till the worshipful master in the east is made acquainted with his request, and his answer returned." The senior deacon then repairs to the master and gives 2 knocks, as at the door, which are answered by 2 by the master, when the same questions are asked, and answers returned as at the door, after which the master says, "Since he comes with all these necessary qualifications, let him enter this worshipful lodge in the name of the Lord and take heed on what he enters." As he enters, the angle of the square is pressed hard against his naked right breast. p. 51. At which time the senior deacon says, "Brother, when you entered this lodge the first time, you entered on the point of the compass pressing your naked left breast, which was then explained to you. You now enter it on the angle of the square pressing your naked right breast, which is to teach you to act upon the square with all mankind, but more especially with the brethren." The candidate is then conducted twice regularly round the lodge, and halted at the junior warden in the south, where he gives 2 raps, and is answered by 2, when the same questions are asked, and answers returned as at the door. From thence he is conducted to the senior warden, where the same questions are asked and answers returned as before. He is then conducted to the master in the east, where the same questions are asked and answers returned as before. The master likewise demands of him from whence he came and whither he is traveling. He answers, from the west, and traveling to the east. The master asks, why do you leave the west and travel to the east? Ans. In search of more light. The master then says to the conductor, since this is the case, you will please conduct the candidate back to the west from whence he came, and put him in care of the senior warden, who will teach him how to approach the east, the place of light, by advancing upon 2 upright regular steps to the second step. His heel is in the hollow of the right foot on this degree, his feet forming the right angle of an oblong square, and his body erect at the altar before the worshipful master, and place him in a proper position to take the solemn oath or obligation of a fellow craft mason. The master then leaves his seat and approaches the kneeling candidate. The candidate kneels on the right knee, the left forming a square, his left arm as far as the elbow in a horizontal position, and the rest of the arm in a vertical position so as to form a square, his arm supported by the square held under his elbow, and says, brother, you are now placed in a proper position to take on you the solemn oath or obligation of a fellow craft mason, which I assure you as before is neither to affect your religion nor politics. If you are willing to take it, repeat your name and say after me. P. 52. I, A.B., of my own free will and accord, in the presence of Almighty God, and this worshipful lodge of fellow craft masons, dedicated to God, and held forth to the holy order of St. John, do hereby and hereon most solemnly and sincerely promise and swear, in addition to my former obligation, that I will not give the degree of a fellow craft mason to any one of an inferior degree, nor to any other being in the known world, except it be to a true and lawful brother or brethren fellow craft masons, within the body of a just and lawfully constituted lodge of such, and not unto him nor unto them, whom I shall hear so to be, but unto him and them only whom I shall find so to be. After strict trial and due examination or lawful information. Furthermore do I promise and swear that I will not wrong this lodge nor a brother of this degree to the value of 2 cents, knowingly, myself, nor suffer it to be done by others if in my power to prevent it. Furthermore do I promise and swear that I will support the Constitution of the Grand Lodge of the United States, and of the Grand Lodge of the State, under which this lodge is held, and conform to all the bylaws, rules, and regulations of this or any other lodge of which I may at any time hereafter become a member, as far as in my power. Furthermore, do I promise and swear that I will obey all regular signs and summonses given, handed, sent, or thrown to me by the hand of a